Pablo?
I'm David. What's your name?
Pablo Chacon. Hola, Brad.
Pablo!
Pablo Chacon. Turns out there's a real Pablo Chacon, and we stole from him.
I thought you said we were picking up drugs for Pablo Chacon.
I thought we were, okay? Brad told me he was Pablo. Why don't you ask the real Pablo Chacon how it happened?
Hola, Pablo. It's Brad.
Pablo Chacon? Pablo Chacon. I'm here to pick up for Pablo Chacon.
What? Who? Pablo Chacon.
Pablo Chacon.
David, come on. All you gotta do is pop down to Mexico, go to this address, and tell them you're there to pick up for Pablo Chacon.
Who the fuck is Pablo Chacon?
I am. You just walked in there, told them you were there to pick up for Pablo Chacon, and they were like, yeah, no problem.
Wait a minute.
I saw you leaving Pablo Chacon's compound.
Pablo!
See me stacking chips, say cheese, no nachos. Girl, I'm about to make it rain, get a poncho. Pablo Picasso, a modern life Rocco. Smooth gato, niggas can't stop 'em. When I come through, they play dead like possums. Little
I even had to get Pablo out of prison, so it'll be perfect for you.
No. Pablo, I can't just mention your restaurant.
Who was it anyway?
Pablo?
Drop the knife, Pablo.
Hi. Pablo sent me.
Send me up a girl, Pablo. Now. How long you been working for Pablo?
Oh, I got a job at a Burger World up in Hollywood. And I was gonna, save up and get my own franchise, but Pablo offered me this job.
Pablo said this.
You go to Pablo, you cut yourself in on my action.
And Pablo wants to hook her back on the job tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and all is forgiven comes.
Pablo, it's ready.
Pablo, but I'm totally sure. But she's there, Pablo. I mean, she's just like a few floors above.
All right, Pablo, wait.
Pablo, please.
A poem for the gravestones. A few words by Pablo Neruda.
Pablo Escobar.
Fucking thinks he is.
Pablo!
See, Pablo, he's not so bad. Pablo here could have shot you dead. I don't see why not. Pablo.
Pablo Casals, world famous.
Of course you're world famous.
I gotta hand it to you, Pablo. First of all, it's Paul, not Pablo, okay?
We have a location, 4550 San Pablo.
Hey, bro. Pablo around?
I got a guy down there says he can put me next to Pablo Escobar.
Just a little legwork for Senor Pablo Cabrales.
Pablo Escobar. Couple of...
Pablo!
Pablo! Jorge!
Thanks to Pablo Escobar's unique management style, the cartel found themselves kicked out of Colombia.
Hola, Pablo. Now let's go say hi to Pablo.
Lo dije, Pablo. Debemos arreglar esto ya. Nos traicionó.
Pablo, give me that.
Pablo would have laughed at that too.
I don't like it, Pablo. Business and family separate.
Pablo, you know how hard your daddy has to work to make some money. And Pablo, you can find this coin, you can keep it. Go for it.
Pablo, resign. Leave. Leave before they kick you out. You don't want your son to see what the whole country saw today, Pablo.
Today.
Pablo, you're a drug trafficker.
The gatillero Pablo sent to erase his past didn't do his job.
Hijo de putas.
Ya, Pablo, ya.
He's a minister, Pablo. You can't kill a minister, hombre.
Pablo, he didn't mean to insult you, hombre.
Ay, Pablo.
Open it.
I don't need a gun, Pablo. Not me. Pablo couldn't keep his word. Pablo, you're losing your mind.
This is for you. It's from Don Pablo Escobar Gaviria.
Pablo turns threatening people into its own genre.
Yeah, we know that, Pablo.
Pablo, no me mates así.
Escúchame, hombre. Tu grande tan ficticio impossible, Pablo.
We've been together from the start, no jodas, Pablo.
Mira, Pablo. Business has changed a lot.
You are all getting rich out there while I am here.
No, Pablo.
Pablo, ¿qué pasa? No, Pablo, no es eso.
They decide to transfer Pablo to a military prison.
Por trabajar con Pablo Escobar.
You didn't keep your promise, Pablo. Because they're afraid your enemies will blow up the school, Pablo. That's why.
They made a deal. Once they're out, Pablo Escobar will turn himself in.
Pablo will try to talk to them, right?
Come on, Pablo. Please, turn it off. Pablo! Pablo!
Come on, put Juan Pablo on. Tell them that Pablo Escobar agreed on turning himself in the moment his family was safe, but they didn't keep their side of the deal. Okay, repeat what I said back to me, Juan Pablo. No, that's not what I said.
But then he said you'd be here. You and Pablo and...
Ella ha elegido a Pablo.
Yes, she's chosen Picasso, but Pablo thinks women are only to sleep with or to paint.
Well, I hope it was nothing serious with you and Pablo.
Pablo will be missing me.
Pablo keep asking for you. He's driving us.
Pablo? Pablo Escobar?
Bueno, los dejo.
No.
¡Pablo! ¡Don Pablo! ¡Paulito! ¡Don Pablo está aquí! ¡Vení!
Is everybody here named Pablo?
Everybody.
That day I decide that I don't care how Pablo makes his money. To celebrate me being free again, Pablo takes me to an island paradise only he knows about. Pablo introduces me to his associates in the cartel.
Me llamo Pablo. The spotlight is bad for business.
How far are you going to take this, Pablo? You have money, Pablo. First, he'd have to see you, Pablo, but you're never home.
Juan Pablo, amigo, go to the living room.
I'd settle for being the only lady, Pablo. I want respect to Pablo, like you. No.
For Alternativa Popular Movimiento de Renovación Liberal, Pablo Escobar Gaviria has been elected representative for the House of Nariz.
Pablo, take that money out of my bag right now.
Why?
You're not gonna put me in danger. Ay, Pablo, that's a lot of money. Pablo is aware of this, and he takes care of all my needs. Me, you're interested in Pablo.
What did he say? Pablo.
Where is Pablo?
He got to go to Bogota.
Soon, all of those dead, whether killed by Pablo or his enemies, will haunt me as well.
Devoted only to capturing Pablo Escobar.
The DEA set up sophisticated tracking systems to pinpoint Pablo.
Pablo will get around the corner on Bolivar Avenue.
Because I'm gonna tell Pablo to blow up your fucking building with you and your family inside. Pablo doesn't need an excuse to kill a DEA agent. Pablo will find me, no matter where I go.
Is that what Pablo values in you?
All the gringos want, Pablo, to catch you. Pablo, don't follow me and don't call me anymore, okay? Pablo loses his strong men.
Listen, I need to reach Pablo. And Pablo, is that so difficult to understand to you?
And how do we know that you are really Pablo Escobar Gaviria and not someone else pretending to be him?
After the first bombs, the country asked the government to give Pablo hell.
¡Pablo, subite! ¡Pablo!
Without the threat of extradition hanging over him, Pablo needs a safe place to reorganize his business.
He's also the man in charge of negotiating the surrender of Pablo Escobar.
Pablo adds one last condition to his surrender.
They will like that Pablo. Estás diciéndome pues Pablo.
¡Pablo! ¡Pablo!
What else?
Hi, Pablo. I'm broke, Pablo. Pablo, I would never betray you.
Yeah, pero mira, Pablo. The funny route failed twice this move.
I've seen things, Pablo. I've seen things.
Pablo. The things are getting rough out there, hermano.
A last-minute wire confirms that Pablo Escobar Gaviria, the ex-boss of the Medellin cartel, has been gunned down today by members of the search block in a residential neighborhood of Medellin.
I loved Pablo.
This is me and Pablo, Dad.
We're just telling Pablo that this portrait doesn't capture Adriana. Belle, mais plus subtil, plus implicite.
And now, with Pablo.
Pablo Picasso and Ernest Hemingway.
Which is how Pablo met her, Picasso. And how Pablo Caesar saw her.
Adriana has left Pablo and has flown to Africa with Hemingway.
Dinner with Pablo and Henri Matisse. Pablo is the greater artist, but Matisse
is the greater painter.
Oh my God! Pablo admires him so much.